thank you. Good evening, everyone. Okay, we are starting our instructional talks for the Summer Chi here in Dharma Treasury. Anyone has anything to say? Okay, if not, then let's listen to Master Sheno's instructions.
Why would Guanyin Bodhisattva needs protection and support from us?
本来观世音菩萨是护持俺们个人的，俺们怎么又要护持观世音？
Originally, Guanyin Bodhisattva protects and supports us. How come now we need to protect and support Guanyin Bodhisattva?
因为观世音菩萨在默默中护持俺们。 咱们对观世音菩萨应该发一种菩提心来建立道场。
Because Guanyin Bodhisattva quietly protects and supports us, so we should bring forth the Bodhi mind to build this way place.
建立道场呢，这就是护持观世。
To build the way place is to protect and support Guanyin Bodhisattva.
弘扬佛法，这就是护持观世。
To propagate Buddha Dharma is to protect and support Guanyin Bodhisattva.
所以呢，咱们每一个人。 应该旅行的人呢，把那个旅行的钱拿来帮助道场，不要去旅行了。
So every single one of us who originally was supposed to travel should donate the travel fund to help this way place and cancel the trip.
应该去看戏的人，不要去看戏了，把这看戏的钱呢拿来帮助道场。
People who go to see a play, do not go see the play. You should use the money for the play to help the way place.
应该吃点好东西的，把这个买好东西这个钱呢省下来帮助道场。
People who eat good food should save the money for buying good food. Save it to help the way place.
你省一点帮助道场，他省一点帮助道场。
You save a little bit to help the way place. He saves a little bit to help the way place.
给众人节省下来就可以把这个道场成就了。
Everybody saves a little bit like this, then we can save this way place.
这也就所谓继业成裘，继业。
This is so-called collecting the finest bits of fur under fox's armpits. One can make a coat.
Okay, hang on. Okay, let's backtrack a little bit before we get further into the coat thing. Okay, so we caught the master talking about one yin, we're supposed to protect and support one yin. Okay. What do you think? He says, one yin needs to protect and be protected and supported. Okay, how come? The Bodhisattva is supposed to support us. How come we're supposed to support the Bodhisattva? And he says, building the way place, supporting way place, is to support and protect the Bodhisattva. You agree? This is a Chinese thing. This week we have a lot of Chinese people here, so we should take advantage of the Chinese wisdom. Is that how the common thinking is? Build a way places, protect and support one yin bodhisattva, to support the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. To us Westerners, doesn't make sense. Because one yin bodhisattva is like so strong already. It doesn't need a way place, it doesn't need support, it doesn't need protection. Who says one yin bodhisattva needs a way place? You have a problem with that? I have a problem with this kind of thinking. I don't understand it, to be honest with you. From Westerners, Western educated person, it doesn't make sense. I mean, it's like trying to protect someone who needs no protection. They're trying to build a way place for someone who doesn't need a way place. You know, like one yin, since when does one yin need protection? Since when does one yin need a way place? For us Westerners, Western educated people, it's more palatable to us if you say, you build a way place so that more people can practice one yin's Dharma door. It's much more easily understood, more digestible, more acceptable. But to say to protect one yin, it's just weird. No? You have any problems with that? The Koreans are always so quiet. Master disagrees. Master is so controversial. He can never agree to the status quo. Way Mountain.
Too close.
That one. I completely agree with you this time, actually. However,
wait.
Hello, everyone.
I resent the word actually.
오셔서 반갑습니다.
Okay. Actually, I do object to actually. But continue.
I'm grateful for Simsan Sunim for inviting us here.
Oh no.
그리고 이렇게
Someone in Discord is playing a YouTube video of Master.
Oh, they get bored. Can't blame them.
Way Mountain Temple, it sounds like you're playing a YouTube video on your
Francis,
computer.
cut it out, Francis. I'm working. I'm at work.
Well, as I look here,
Sorry, Daniel. Yeah, continue. Ignore the interruption.
You would be in a palace.
So how was San Francisco? Oh, sightseeing. You guys are leaving tomorrow, right? All right. 8 a.m.? 8 a.m. or 8 p.m.? 5 o'clock in the morning? Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Toronto time is like 3 hours later. Okay. Have you figured it out yet?
Event in a mountain.
I think we need a minute. I'll communicate with WMT before they can talk.
You cannot?
WMT is still playing some other video, so if we open them up, then we'll hear the other video. Yeah, I still see the signal is there.
So we apologize. There's some technical difficulties at Wei Mountain Temple. They're playing some sort of old videos that's interfering with our open channels with them. You need to clue people in.
Never had the need to fill up so many to take care of so.
And who's playing that?
Can you guys hear me over there?
Yeah, it's fine now.
Okay. I was saying that I do believe that
Actually? Actually.
that they didn't. Yeah. However, I was thinking that he probably said that to motivate people to go ahead and help in the temple and properly and propagate the Dharma.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe back then. Anyway, let's continue. So the build way place and so he says protect to build way places, protect and support one yin bodhisattva. It's probably not true. Propagate word dharma to protect and support one yin bodhisattva. Probably not true. One yin bodhisattva doesn't need you to do anything. Okay, for her, it's just the wrong mindset to me. When you're bodhisattva, you're supposed to help others. You don't expect others to do anything for you. This is how bodhisattvas are, as far as I understand Buddhism. So to say this to me is misleading the non-Chinese people. That's I disagree. Every single one of us who are originally supposed to travel should donate travel funds to help this workplace and cancel the trip. I think I alluded to this earlier. Somehow we came up to this very quickly. I feel that you shouldn't ask people to give money. He shouldn't have to ask, by the way. Okay? The reason being that if you ask people to donate money, and they do, okay, then the blessings are far less if they were to donate money from their own free will. And this is the spirit Mahayana. We don't ask you to do anything, because when you bring forth the resolve to do something, make sacrifices, your blessings are far greater. And that's what we want, because we want you to have oodles and oodles of blessings, so that it's much easier for you to cultivate, much easier for us to train you. If we ask you to do things for us, give us money, give us food, and support us, and so forth, then yes, most of you are very supportive, and you gladly do that, and that's fine, and that's great. However, personally, I feel that would not be ideal for you. There'll be a time when we do that, but I feel that the early stages of Buddhism, where he was at the time, he had to train people, teach people that they were supposed to support the way place and help build the way places. I still don't feel it's necessary. I don't know if you agree with me or not. This is the fallacies, this is the mistakes most monks and nuns make. They feel that we need to build way places in order to propagate Buddhism, and for you to have a place to come and so forth. You talk to all the monks and nuns, that's the corporate line, if you will. Everyone says, we need way places, more way places to build and support, to propagate Buddhism. I'm of I have to disagree with that. The Buddha himself never needed any way places. And it's his lay people who decided that he needed way places, which is better for everyone, including the Buddhas. But the Buddha never said, build me a bigger way place. But because if they don't have way places, his disciples follow him and practice austerity, and they practice under difficult circumstances, like Master YongHua in the early days, they have far greater blessing. They make progress a lot quicker. So that's what we're trying to do. It's not about building way places. Who needs building? Well, it's nice to have buildings. I like it to be bigger buildings, but if it comes, it comes. It doesn't come, you shouldn't ask for it. This is my attitude. Buddha never asked for anyone to build a temple for him. As far as I can remember. Okay? I struggle a little bit with this concept of asking people to build, to donate, to build things. I feel that let the people bring forth the resolve to help build if they wish. Otherwise, don't ask. Okay? I don't need excuses. Because this excuse to me, you build way places, support 1 yin, to me, it would not fly. If I had money, and for who I am today, if I had money, okay, and you come and ask me, will you help me build a way place so that I can, so that way you support 1 yin Bodhisattva? I said, no, I don't feel I need to support 1 yin Bodhisattva. She go to play, you're not going to see a play. She use money for the play to help the way place. I have a problem with that again. Do you know that the actors in the theaters are dirt poor? And they need your going to see the theater for them to survive, for them to feed the family. Did you know that? We heard of that, right? And here I'm asking you not to go to see plays so that I have a temple and the actors go hungry. The family and children go hungry. I have a problem with this. This is too Chinese. YouTube, go ahead.
There's a lot of comments.
Uh-oh.
Venerable Shen-An said maybe the audience doesn't know anything about Buddhism, so Master Shenhua had to say it to encourage the Western people to create more blessings.
Who cares? If they don't know about Buddhism, let them.
Go Forest Daniel said maybe Master Shenhua wants us to have a certain mentality, perhaps a mentality of utility and not victimhood, mentality or attitude.
Mentality of starving the actors and the families so that we have a temple. I have a problem with that.
Derek said because it's the Dharma ending age, Guanyin will go away with it, so she needs protection to extend her time for the benefit of living beings.
Are you my disciple or are you his disciple? Anyone else?
Vicky said, unfortunately, Westerners don't know about donating as it's common practice with the Asian culture.
So what? They don't know, who cares?
Peter said, way places aren't for bodhisattvas and Buddhas. They are for lay people to have the opportunity to encounter Buddhism and transform themselves. That's why we support building way places and to support the Sangha to guide us in our cultivation too.
So?
Brady said, yes, Peter.
Traitors.
Christopher said, Master Shenhua wanted us to make better use of our money, use it to generate blessings, donate to Way Place instead of wasting it on meaningless things like vacations. That's it.
What happened to my devoted disciples? What happened to all of them? This is why I need you to support and stand by me. Yes, four.
Thanks, Master. So basically, my understanding is, we don't need to protect Guanyin Bodhisattva, but we probably want to get her more attention to our world. So how to get, because she is so busy, she may pay more attention to another planet or another world. So we probably want to have more people to understand to know the Guanyin Bodhisattva, and also to have more, to have more belief to Guanyin Bodhisattva, and all. Then probably build an energy field in our world. Then Guanyin may put more attention to our world, may help more people in our world. That's my understanding. I'm not sure whether it's correct or not.
When are you leaving?
I'm leaving this Saturday.
You are pretty daring. Okay. This is a problem with all of you, because Master Shuan is bigger and famous and have more wisdom. Therefore, you always say, he's always right. It's just like you never go for the underdogs. It's so typical Asians. If we Americans, you go for the underdog. And no one stood up for me. Old monk, would you like to say something? So eloquently put. Okay, Koreans, now come to the rescue of your Sunni. Now they're all looking down on the ground. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. CNN, whose side are you on? Look at that. Oh my God. I cannot believe this. And this is what happened. This is a story in my life. You know, I fed you. I gave you places to live. And when I need support, you won't give it to me. Yes, 5. Policewoman. Someone who has. Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello? Okay, I'm going to probably...
Remember, I agree that you should break the fast today.
Yes, I know. I was going to say I'm going to get more... I'll probably get more instructions, but I do agree with you. I don't believe Guan Yin needs support because she's already, all the way up there. I don't think she needs support.
Finally. Someone who has sense. Okay. Who has sense and sensibilities. There's hope for the police force in Chicago. Not even Chicago, she doesn't live in Chicago. Anyway, you see, we're in the minority, aren't we? Anyway, yes, go ahead, Wei Mountain.
I actually agree with you, but
I
don't
actually
understand.
again?
Yes. But I don't understand. I still cannot get the concept of what he was trying to say exactly. But I still believe that he was trying to somehow motivate people to give donation.
Just not how it works. This is not a church. It's not how the same thing as the Catholics and so forth, and saying you should give money to the church and so forth. I don't think it's a good way to go about it. Asking people for money to build a church from a monk perspective, to me, is not a good thing. You lay people should do that, but not monks and nuns. It's not good. And personally, I feel that, especially for Master Xunhua thing level, I think he set the wrong standards. I feel that he didn't stick to the non-seeking. He's seeking help. He's asking people to help build a way place, and in the process, they are subjecting. They're not helping they're not helping. If they make sacrifices, then the family suffers, and the travel agents suffer, and the theater people suffer, and the culture suffers, and so forth. How does it help? And to me, it's yes, you can make a case for either way, but I feel that as a monk, if you have to come down to that, I think monks should take the loss first, and don't say that because it's good for you. And we take the losses, we can never say it's good for you. If we take losses and you all deserve a better temple and so forth, and then to me, it doesn't sound right. Okay, that's just me. And Daniel, what I'm in Buddhism, you create blessings by giving. So far, so good, Daniel. You give something, okay, then you get a lot more back in return, typically. So far, so good. For example, we give to the church, okay, then you get like 10 back, right? Because the multiply 10 is because that money that you give to the church will be put to good use. It will benefit a lot more people than if you were to use it yourself. So that will benefit like 10 times more. Is that clear? So it's just common sense. If you put $1, you benefit, X number of people, and you give to someone who uses the same amount of money that can benefit greater, a lot more people, then clearly you get far more blessings from helping someone who's doing more good than you. Okay, so that's why the multiplier. So far, so good. So that's why it's a good idea to give to churches, to give to synagogues, to give to temples, and so forth. Okay, because it's a multiplier, and they're not all the same. Because if you give even to churches, some churches will do more good than others. Okay, so mathematically speaking, whatever money you give to someone who does more good will be you much better off. Okay? Yeah. And so in general, the money that the temple receive, they tend to do more good than the churches. That's why the multiplier are higher. Okay? And that's a fact. It has been proven. Okay? For us Buddhists. And furthermore, even within Buddhism, it's the same distinction. Not all temples are the same. So you give money, for example, to Master YongHua, clearly he'll do more good than giving money to us, for example. And therefore, the multiplier is much better for you when you give to Master YongHua. So there's a lot of different factors, but the one thing that also people should consider is that when you give without being told to give, your blessings even greater than otherwise. So, for example, you plan to give $10 to Master YongHua, okay, for him to do his work, and because Master YongHua asked you to sacrifice your theater ticket so that you save that money and give it to him. So you give him $10, the price of a ticket to a movie theater, for example, watching a movie. Okay, however, so you get some multipliers back, like 10,000 back, something like that, 1,000, 10,000 back. However, if you were to give him $10 without him asking for it, your multiplier would be like 20,000, 30,000. So that you have a higher multiplier because you do it from your own free will. All right? So that's why it makes sense for us, monks and nuns, to refrain from asking for help. Because when people decide to help us without being asked, they get far greater blessings than if we were to ask. That's a rationale for us. So it's not about us. The emphasis, okay, is not for us. Is not personal. Is not to build temple, but to help you generate blessings. Okay, the more blessings you have, the better off you're going to be. Much easier it is for you to generate blessings, to cultivate. Okay, and that's why. And that's why I like Master YongHua's teaching, do not seek, do not ask. Okay? But here, he's asking for money to help build a way place. Let me tell you, I don't think because of that he's going to get a lot of money. Even I mean, how many people are aware that they should sacrifice $10 of a movie ticket or whatever, okay? So I don't know why. I really don't get why he would do that. YouTube question.
Master, should I continue with the comments or go directly to the question?
Yeah, go do comment, whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
Okay. WMT Apple said Master YongHua was helping the audience to make offering to him before it was too late. Like now, we missed the opportunity to make offering to a great bodhisattva like Master YongHua. San Jose 2008 said Master.
Jesus spy number 2. What do you expect? Continue.
San Jose 2008 said Master YongHua shoot himself in the foot. It's against Wei Yang rules. Vicky said, Master, I'm not saying he's right. I don't think we need to build a temple for Guanyin Bodhisattva. Diego said, I'm with you, Master, not because Guanyin doesn't need help, just because when you mention disciples to donate, they don't do it out of sincerity, but as an obligation, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, it pains me to see that the actors' family suffer. Because if the theater does not make enough money, they're going to lay off those actors who actually are not that well off. They sacrifice their lives, and they get very little support. Okay, to me, the people who go into that profession, okay, are even more obscure than us monks and nuns, and they are a lot in dire straits. To me, they need more help than us. So how can I possibly tell you that you should not go see a theater, and let these people starve more? That bothers me. Okay. Continue.
Vincent said, beautifully said, Master.
Vincent? Van Gogh?
Brady said, isn't any worthy endeavor to propagate the Dharma a righteous act?
Brady, what I want to teach you is that I'm trying to teach you to make sacrifices. But if in order for me to teach you to make sacrifices, I must be the one who makes sacrifices first. So I can't ask you to donate to me, because then I'm not making sacrifices. You're making sacrifices for me.
Last question from Leo. I agree that Guanyin does not need our support, but Master said that you have not seen anyone like Master YongHua that much wise. Does it mean that Master YongHua's wisdom is not perfect? I can see that his approach was breaking the rule of not seeking, so this talk, Master YongHua's words, makes me afflicted. I thought that Master YongHua's wisdom is the utmost one. Is this also a sort of false thought?
Yeah, it's a false thought. You are in no position to judge Master YongHua, nor am I. Okay? I'm not here to judge him. Therefore, you should not judge him either. All I'm doing here is bring up a teaching point. For me, there's an important moment here for me that I see to tell you that all of you, my monks and nuns as well as lay people, Mahayana will become stronger because we make sacrifices, not because we have a lot of buildings, not because we have a lot of temples. This is my personal opinion, okay? That when we make sacrifices, it will help make Mahayana a lot more solid, a lot stronger. Okay, for example, if you have all the money you need, you have everything you want, you can afford to pay for everything you want as a lay person. Okay, so when you come to the temple and we ask you to stop eating and sleep less, what happens to you? You say, oh, this is too hard for me. You become soft. You see what I mean? So my point being that if we monks and nuns are lacking in things, in clothing, in food, and buildings, and support, and so forth, it makes us stronger, makes us tougher. Okay? So we're not dependent on external things. It helps us. And we're stronger than the Buddhism we preach is stronger as well. Okay? Buddhism is not in buildings. Buddhism is in each and every one of us, you and me alike. They judge us. Look, Daniel comes to us and says, I like coming here because I'm comfortable. They don't judge me. They don't, they kind of backward. They're kind of stupid. Eat strange things. But they don't judge me, so he's fine. But but he's judging us. You see? Yeah. Go ahead, you too.
From Venerable Shen An, Master, when people in the meditation class ask me how they can contribute out of their gratitude, I tell them to donate to the temple who provided the space. Is that okay?
Yeah. Oh my God. That's going too far. Yes, go ahead. 8.
A Di Đà Phật, thưa thầy, con có nói chuyện với lại người em dâu của con, thì có một lần có vị flirt, con không nhớ là ở đâu mà trong xứ Mỹ này, thì cũng có người bạn thân họ try to collect tiền để offer cho những cái người mà bị trong cái flirt đó. Thì cái cô đó chỉ đưa có 50 đồng thôi. Thì cô em dâu con mới complain với con là cái chị này chị giàu mà chị chỉ đưa em có 50 đồng. Con cảm thấy như là hơi funny, là bởi vì người ta có 50 đồng thì người ta đưa 50 đồng. Đâu có phải tại người ta giàu mà phải người ta đưa nhiều hơn. Thì con cũng cảm ơn thầy đã dạy tụi con được cái đó, để mà tụi con, the way tụi con think is better than just people on how much they donate and money, if it doesn't matter they rich or they poor. Yeah, A Di Đà Phật thầy.
Master, my sister, I remember like back then when there was a flood in some area in the U.S., and my sister-in-law, she collect money in order to help the flood victims. And then there was a lady that donated $50. And then after that, my sister-in-law complained to me like, oh, that lady is rich, and then she only donate $50. But to me, when I hear that, it's a little bit weird, because it's not about whether people are rich or poor, but if she has only $50, she donate $50 is okay to me. And I'm very grateful to your teaching that we don't judge people by how much money that people give out or donate.
Yeah, you see, my problem is that the people take themselves too seriously. And yes, what Shin was doing is very important to educate the new people here in this country, about Buddhism, about the importance of giving and so forth, and the need to have way places for people to come and practice Mahayana and so forth. Yes, I understand how important it is, but I disagree with the way to go about it. Okay? There's no need to rush it. To me, if Mahayana is in your heart, you come here and you experience a little bit and you say, oh, I like this Mahayana flavor. That's Mahayana to me. Mahayana is not in words, it's not in the temples. So, so to me, we should not ask people to make sacrifices. I prefer that they make sacrifices on their own without being asked. That's just my rationale. Okay? People are perfectly capable of making sacrifices. I personally have a hard time because asking you not to go see a play, I really have a hard time with that. I have a hard time asking you not to go listen to the Philharmonic, okay? To go pay for a ticket to see the orchestra, because I know these musicians, these actors, they're very poor. They're suffering. They don't make that much money. It bothers me. Okay? I wish I had money to support them, because I feel culture is important. I feel these people have made enough sacrifices themselves. Okay? And I don't feel that what I'm doing is more important. Honestly, I don't feel what I'm doing is that important for you to prioritize me over the suffering of the musicians, of the actors, of the ballet people, and so forth. These people are really are not that well off. They're suffering so much. They're deprived. How could we? Okay? And that's just my opinion. People who eat good food should save the money to buy good food. Again, if we don't buy good food, in those restaurants, okay, there are people who are not making much money. Okay, you go to a Japanese restaurant in Tokyo, you pay $400, $500 for a 1-hour meal. Have a course they give you, okay? And yes, the owner makes all the money and so forth, and the trainees hardly make any money. But without that money, the owners, the chef cannot afford to train the next generation. Okay? A lot of these artisans, a lot of these craftsmen, they don't make much money. Okay? I have a hard time. I see them as suffering. I just cannot. I find it hard to convince myself to tell you that you should skip them over us. We are trained to endure the cold. We are trained to endure the heat. We're trained to endure the hunger, like you've seen it here. We can handle it. These people can't, especially their children, their wives, their husbands. They're not trained to do that. They're not trained to endure hardship. We are trained to endure hardship. So I have a problem with this here. But again, this is a long time ago, so I don't know. Okay, I'm sure he changed a lot ever since. Need to buy good food. Okay, you save a little bit to help the way place, fine. You save a little bit to help the way place, is fine. But don't make others suffer because of us. Okay, I have a problem with that. Yeah. Everybody saves a little bit like this, then we can save this way place. Fine. Collecting the finest bits of fur in the fox's armpits, one can make a coat. Okay. What does this mean? Since when do we, this is so Chinese. I didn't realize that the Chinese make fur coats out of the hair under the monkey's armpits. The monkey's armpit make your coats that I pay so much for. Okay? And the fox's armpits. Is that real? Is that for real?
Master YongHua will explain this later.
He will explain it later? Yeah. Okay. This is made in China kind of syndrome. Now we're getting to hear all the details of our fox furs and fur coats and so forth, how they made. Continue, please. Fox's armpits? Tonight is not a good night for me.
这个狐狸，这个地方这一块皮子是最好的，又轻嘛又难。
Collecting the fur from armpit. The fox fur on the armpits are the finest. It is light and warm.
I didn't know that. Is this for real?
Continue?
Yeah, continue,
但
please.
是一个狐狸不能做一个皮袄，一定呢要很多的狐狸，这个地方这个皮呀，才能做一件衣服。
But one fox is not enough to make a leather coat. There must be lots of fox fur from that place to make one coat.
That's weird. Excuse me. I'm really, really a peasant. I don't wear fox fur coat, so I have no clue. So. Jewel Kong, go ahead.
This is a comment from Zumi. She says she agrees with Master. Let's say when Master Z and a very beginner are thirsty at the same time, when we consider about blessing, we need to give water to Master Z. But when we consider about virtue and reality, we need to give water to the beginner, because Master Ji, he has high kung fu and he already has a lot of blessings, so he's not gonna get affected by thirst. But the very beginner would be more thirsty. So, and according to the same principle, the same $10, the playing people or travel, who working for travel field people needs more $10 than Guanyin Pusa.
Mm-hmm. I like you more and more every day. Okay. Continue, please.
Collecting the finest bits of fox fur from armpits, one can make a coat.
那么现在大家也都是继业成裘成什么裘？我们这个成。
Now we're all collecting the finest bits of fox fur to make a coat. Make what coat?
这个是人人所需要的这个裘，这个皮袄，这是道场。
We're making the coat everybody needs. This leather jacket, that is the way place.
这个道场成就了以后，因为你来护持。
After this way place is established, in the future, because you protected and supported it.
有人在这修道，修成功了，成佛了，这都是你的功德。
When others cultivate the way here, they cultivate successfully and become Buddhas. This is all your merit and virtue.
你现在呀，发一种菩提心，将来一定解菩提果的。
So now, when you bring forth the Bodhi mind in the future, you will for sure have the Bodhi fruit.
有的人呢，又打了妄想了，说这个师父啊，现在是变了。
Some people are false thinking again, saying that this master has changed now.
以前这个师父不要钱，现在呀，公开和人要钱。
In the past, this master didn't want money, but now he is asking for money publicly.
我要知道这样子，我无论如何也不敢皈依。可是现在已经晚了，你就后悔呀，也来不及了。
If I knew this, I would not dare to take refuge with him, no matter what. But now, it's too late. Even if you regret it, it is too late.
你要知道啊，你的钱就是师傅的钱，师傅的钱也就是你的钱，没有什么分别。
You should know your money is your master's money. Your master's money is also your money. There is no difference.
I'm not having a good night. I'm really not having a good night at all. This is like torture for me. I'm sorry. I mean, why does it make so difficult for me? Okay, here. I haven't seen this. I haven't got to the end of this yet. But so far, I'm agitated. Okay. I cannot sit still.
Master, so your Master Shenhua's disciple, your money is Master Shenhua's disciple of your temple, is mean that is Master Shenhua's temple as well.
Yeah, I know. That's so scary. Yeah. I don't have to agree with that. So others cultivate a way place. You build this way place here, and others, because of thanks to this way place, they cultivate and they got some great benefits and so forth. And you have shared in the benefits. That's true. That's true. That's fine, and there's nothing wrong with that. And when you bring forth the Bodhi mind in the future, you will for sure have the Bodhi fruit. Yes, it's true. You help others cultivate in the future. When you cultivate, it's much easier for you. That's a fact. Absolutely. Okay? Because in the future, others will help you cultivate. And some people disagree with him. They say this master has changed now. Before, he didn't want money. Now he's asking for money from people. Okay? And if I knew that, I would not have taken refuge with him. But now it's too late. Okay? He says, he's joking. He says, your money is my money. My money is your money. No way. Okay? My money is mine. Yeah, more likely. Because I'm the master. But you must not. Are we there yet? Are we at this slide yet, or is it coming?
This is the coming slide.
The coming slides.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Wei Mao.
So I have a very curious question just pop up in my mind. Does that mean that your sunims and basically their money belongs to you, and their cars, it belongs to you? That's what it means?
Yeah, but they have no money. They have no cars, so it doesn't count. So Master says, okay, let's continue. This is a little bit weird. Okay, yeah.
那么你要是一定要和师父分别，师父也没有法子。不过道理是这样。
But if you must distinguish between yourself and your master, there is nothing your master can do. Nevertheless, the principle is like this.
Okay.
因为师傅和徒弟不分彼此。
Because master and disciples do not distinguish between each other.
那么，你徒弟有钱了，师傅就有钱；师傅有钱了，徒弟也有钱。
When disciples have money, master has money. When master has money, then disciples also have money.
所以呀，那么这个道场也不是师傅，也不是徒弟。
Our way place does not belong to the master, nor does it belong to the disciples.
也是师傅的，也是徒弟咱们大家人人都有份。
It belongs to the master, and so does it belong to the disciples. Everybody has a share.
不过你们不会造这个道场，要这个有个师傅来提倡你们造道场就好。
But you won't build this way place. So you need a master to encourage you to build this way place.
好像你们本来不会成佛，他们现在叫你学佛法。
It's like originally you won't become Buddhas, but now we told you to study the Buddha Dharma.
你就一点一点就会成佛了，一个样的道理。所以呢，
Then you will become Buddhas little by little. It's the same principle.
你哪一个人不能和师傅分别不要学得那么孤寒不舍。
So nobody should distinguish with your master. Don't be so stingy and unwilling.
要来先公后私，这个道场这是公共，私人呢是小方面。
You should put public interests ahead of personal interests. This way place belongs to the public. Private interests are small aspects.
所以你都不要后悔皈依这个师父，不但不要后悔，你更应该生大欢喜
So none of you should regret taking refuge with this master. Not only you shouldn't regret, you should be overjoyed.
不会做立功，也不会立德，也不会立言。
Okay, YouTube question, go ahead.
From Peter, I detect that somehow Great Master YongHua is setting a trap here. However, as far as I know, when we donate money to the temple, it then becomes the property of the Triple Jewel.
It's true. It's true that when you give, you give the money, it belongs to Triple Jewel. It doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to anyone. But however, it's not entirely true either. It may belong to Triple Jewel, but I'm the manager, so I'm responsible in a way. Okay, so there's a theory and there's a practice. Okay, so the principle is like this: they should not have a discriminating mind. Okay, don't discriminate between the master and disciple. Again, this is not working out for me. I feel you need to distinguish because I hate it if you think you're the same as me. we're not the same. I don't care what you think, okay? Stay in your place, I stay in mine. Okay? When disciples have money, master has money. When disciples has money, master is very happy for you. When master has money, don't you dare touch it. Okay. Way places belong to the master, it doesn't belong to the disciples. No, it's true, it doesn't belong to anyone, but the master still is a person who makes decisions. The disciples don't make decisions, therefore it's not the same. Okay, so see, all this argument to me doesn't hold water with me. Go ahead, you too.
This is not related to the lecture. From Addison, Brazil. Regarding many sutras, instructions to read, recite, and write out. The sutras, I wanted to know if typing and then printing it out is acceptable for writing, or should I use pen and paper? Also, sometimes I recite out loud and sometimes I recite in my mind. I wanted to know if this is comparable or whether there's a difference.
Reciting is a good thing. When you recite loud, there's a time for you to recite out loud. There's a time when you recite silently. Okay, so depending on the circumstances. For example, you go to a temple, when everyone reciting loud, you should recite loud. When everyone reciting silently, you should recite silently. So you accord with conditions. That's the best way. Okay? What was the first part again?
Regarding many sutras, instructions to
transcription, yeah. Do your best, don't worry about it. You transcribe it in paper, on paper, print, whatever, or do it electronically. They all are for dissemination. So the main thing is to disseminate the stuff, okay, the sutras. However, also the most important distinction is that reproduce or print the good sutras, the good translation, not just junk sutras and junk translations. I have a problem with that because the internet and the materials, they aren't enough high quality Mahayana materials. Okay, so if you happen to print, be careful to print or transcribe or recite the better sutras, the good translations. Don't recite junk translations. Okay? All right. Belongs to the master, it doesn't belong to the disciple. Everybody has a share. She says it doesn't belong to anyone, but now it says if it belongs to the master and the disciples. It belongs to no one. Okay, I think he's teaching the wrong people here. I have a hard time with all this talk here so far because it doesn't ring a bell with me at all. You won't build this place, sage, and your master encouraged you to build this way place. It's not for you to build a way place. It's the master to build a way place. Okay? And if master can't build a way place, so be it. Don't put the burden on the disciple. Disciples build houses, build bridges, build Eiffel Tower, and so forth. That's what they do. Okay? That's why they're there. That's what their life's about. Don't ask them to build way places. But if they wish to build way places because it's as important as Eiffel Tower or as a bridge, fine. I have no problem with it. Okay? It's both. Okay. Is that it? Okay. Now, I have this. Go ahead, YouTube. Here's a YouTube question.
From SKY Gu. Hello, Master YongHua. What do you recommend for lay people who are unable to go to a temple to help out because of family obstacles, but want to accrue blessings for enlightenment?
Practice giving to the triple jewel. Preferably practice giving to the Mahayana projects, temples, teachers, and so forth. Okay? And when you keep on doing that, eventually you have a chance to go to temples. When you do that, you're helping others build Mahayana way places so that others have a chance to come, and then eventually you will have a chance to go yourself. Now, but one question begs to be asked. The times are different. When Master Hsuan was back then in early 1970s or the 60s and so forth, he had to ask people to help him build way places, to sacrifice themselves, make sacrifices to contribute money for him to build way places. I can understand that. I feel it's fine. I mean, if you look at all the monks, about all the monks you can give to give money, and sacrifice your money, sacrifice your going to place and your vacation to help him, it's a good thing. I have no problem with that. I just feel that for nowadays we have a better choice, okay? And nowadays, if I had to build way places, I would not ask you to make sacrifices, okay? You can make sacrifices yourself. I would not ask you, okay? So it's different, okay? However, in our times, how do you feel about GoFundMe and stuff like that? What do you think? We're not talking about me looking at you in the face and say, make sacrifices so that I can build a temple for all of us, okay? But now it's anonymous. You have this project here, you GoFundMe or whatever, those things where you do fundraising on the internet and so forth, okay? Driven by even a monk or a lay person to raise money to do a project. Build temple, build bridge, build, a hospital, set up scholarships for people and for children and so forth. So why not do it for a temple? Is that okay with you or not? How do you feel about it? Yes, Cancun. You said Cancun? The shirt.
Oh, so on show for my sister, I didn't pay attention.
Okay.
A Di Đà Phật, thưa thầy, few years ago that I went to a temple and they tried to collect the money to help the temple, and they have a big board and put people's name on it, like this person donate that much, and they put the person that donate more on the top.
Right,
and
with
the
a
one,
star,
yeah,
right? A gold star, and so
something
forth.
like that. And even if I don't know much about Buddhism at the time, but I feel very uncomfortable. And I never donate that way.
So you want to give more than you're supposed to?
No.
You're a cheapskate. What can I say? How do you feel? How do you feel about those people who do anonymous fundraising and say, okay, I built this project here, it's a worthwhile project for these reasons, so forth, and will you support my project, my undertaking? Is that okay or not? How do you feel about it? Bruno, you think it's okay?
I think depends on the project.
Depends on the project.
Yeah, I don't see nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong, okay.
But it depends on.
Okay. So it's okay, like say, I'm going to have some, I want to turn this into, very fancy, adorned Buddha hall and do a fund drive to do that. It's okay?
Maybe that's not okay.
So it's not. It doesn't violate my position. I shouldn't ask for money. I shouldn't ask for help.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay.
I think it depends on the project.
Yeah, there's a project right here, and that's a.
No, this is okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Bless you. Go ahead. 4.
Yeah, I think if we don't think about it, it's a project from the temple, from the. I think perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. And also we have such.
Doesn't it violate not seeking, not asking?
Yeah, I think if asking, if the project basically is, if the project is not from, it's not set up from this temple or from the.
No, for this temple. I say let's turn this into a showcase for Pure Land Buddhism. Huh?
Okay.
Turn the ceiling, those panels, I like them to become gold.
I think.
And so do fund drive for that.
Okay, I think it's fine from my point of view, because what I'm thinking is I benefit from the Dharma doll here, and I also benefit from the retreat here. Even though you don't have this project, I would like to donate because I benefit. I value all the effort here. I value all the Dharma showed to me here.
I like him.
Yeah. So even though without a project, I would donate for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. I appreciate it. But my point here is that would you feel that I'm contradicted myself? You see, people are accusing Master Hsien of contradicting himself. I did. Okay. If I were to tell you that in the future, say I do fundraising for this, okay,
yeah,
and will I be contradicting myself? For you to laugh at me, now I see you all talk, but when the chips are down, you just are like him as well. So I'm asking you first: is that the same?
If nobody asks me to think about whether I feel whether you have this principle, but you do something different with that principle you set for yourself. If no people ask me to think about that, I will not feel that. But if someone asks me to seriously think about that question, I do feel that's their conflict between what.
There's a contradiction, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Wei Mao question.
To answer your questions, my own perspective, it doesn't really matter. Let's say that you want to create a fund to buy a red car. It doesn't really matter. It's up to the person to decide they want to fund your red car or fund the temple or fund whatever they want to fund or give money to. Is their own money to give to. Now, the second question about contradiction, I don't think so either. Doesn't matter in the end. Because even when you my own perspective, when you walk out of the temple, the Way Mountain Temple, you see donation boxes on the first floor and then the second floor. And then it's up to me to decide if I want to put that donation there or not. It's really up to me or to the person to decide. In the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
So there's no contradiction.
Okay, thank you for your input. Go Yin, this is Master Hsien Hua disciples, spy number 1. How you feel? She thinks I'm going to let her get a free ride. Yeah? What do you think? I just criticize your teacher. And then I turn around and say, what if I raise money for my temple and ask you for money? Is that okay? Would I be contradicting myself now? You like it, huh? You like it too. Go Yin, how do you feel?
Mô Phật, cái đó là cũng là rất là tốt chứ không phải là mâu thuẫn cái gì hết đó. Cái này tùy theo con người để phát tâm. Những người mà cái bằng có ấy là giống ấy người ta phát tâm, người ta tự người ta làm.
Okay, very good. Okay. Let me explain to you. I want you to understand this. This is very important for you to understand. what I objected to is for Master YongHua to look at his disciple in the eyes and said, you should not go to the theater tonight. Save that money and give it to me. I have a problem with that because you should make sacrifices so that I can build a temple because it's good for you. I have a problem with that. You understand? I have a hard time asking you to do that because I know their family will suffer, yes? Your husband is looking forward to spend time with you, yes? Okay? Your children are looking forward to spend time away from you, okay? Okay? And the actors and then the opera singers have the chance to have money, they can get paid so that they can feed the family. That's why I struggle with that concept, for me to ask you to stop from going to theaters and movies and amusement park and so on, okay? Because it's your family that suffers. It's those people, the employees' families that suffer. That's what I problem with, okay? You understand where I'm coming from? So far, so good, okay? It's not I object to building a temple. I object to helping you creating blessings. I object to the fact that we must educate you, teach you about the importance of helping build Mahayana places. I'm not objecting to that. I'm only objecting to the fact that I see people suffering. And I have a hard time asking you to do that because I know it inflicts pain on people. That bothers me. That's all I'm saying. So far, so good. YouTube, go ahead.
From Peter, I feel educating people about the benefits of Medicine Master Pure Land and 49-day plaques is the best path. Providing direct receipt of donations via cash or check to max out donors' blessing. Donators' blessings.
Right.
From Addison, Brazil, this reminds me of an anecdote when Buddha was offered food after speaking the Dharma, and the Buddha declined, explaining one ought not receive anything for the Dharma. I do not think this is correct. It also reminds me of 33 women who came together to restore a temple. They were blessed with becoming gods of the 33. This is different. They were lay women coming together and not a monk requesting.
Right. Okay. So
From
we all
Apple.
agree. Yes. Mm-hmm.
One more from Apple. I feel like it depends on whether I trust the people who want to raise money. I want to dedicate my time and money to Master, so I want to know what Master's temple needs. I believe he knows this better than I do.
I need a gold roof. Just in case you forget. Okay, my point is this. I know Master Hsuan has well-intentioned, has all the good reason to say what he said. I'm just told you today, tonight, when I hear this story and I have a hard time, okay, with that, but the way it's done. So but then I also want you to understand that the times has changed. Nowadays, there's some means called anonymous fundraising, where you don't ask people directly, okay? And so that's why I'm asking you, if you agree with me so far, would you have a problem if I were to do that, to go do on these fund drives and ask people that we haven't met, okay? And that includes some of you, who you might have read it on somewhere and say, okay, I donate and so forth. But your case is I'm not asking you to give money. You donate money on your own free will without me asking for it. However, okay, I feel this means these new ways of doing fundraising is very, very effective. It's a good thing to do, okay, if we have time to do that, or we have a chance to do that. Why? Because first of all, it's not me asking you to make sacrifices. It's only me saying, or the monk saying, I have this project here, and I give you why, explain to you why this project is important, what benefits it will bring to society, And therefore, if you feel like you can support it, you can support it on your own volition. No differently than if you were to decide to donate to charity or go work in a soup kitchen. Agree? Does it make sense? Okay? And furthermore, it also is a good thing to do because it also enables people who would otherwise have no chance to plant blessings at all with Mahayana. Because you present a project that makes sense to them and say, okay, I like this. I like these poor people. I like the underdogs. Okay, and I want to give them $1, $2, $5, $10 because I like it. Okay, and that simple act right there, maybe because they like the underdog, wherever, not necessarily because they like Mahayana. Okay, or like me, or like anyone in particular. Okay, but that act there, that channel there, enables them to plant blessings with Mahayana, which they otherwise would not. So there's a difference for me. In my objection to him is that, for me, I have a hard time asking you personally and say, make sacrifices, okay? Because I know I don't want your family to suffer so that I'm more comfortable, so that my disciples are more comfortable. And again, because we train to suffer. Your family is not, okay? So suffering is better for us, okay? All around. However, for those anonymous fund drives and so forth, I think it's a goal for me personally. It's not a contradiction of what we stand for or what we do. And it includes everyone. You agree or disagree? I'm interested in knowing because eventually, if it makes sense, I think I would do that. So far, I've resisted doing fund drives and so forth because of the reason I told you. Yeah, I asked you, and I know your husband is not going to be happy. He said, I haven't made a fight for him. Look at his temple, look at, and so forth. But for those fund drives, to me, anonymous fund drives, to general public, I think it makes sense. Wei Mao.
As a Catholic perspective, I completely approved. But at the same time, actually, I wanted to say that if you want to do fundraising, things like that, you have to describe what is your objectives and your goals in doing the fundraising. Like that, people we were willing to donate or give money to the project.
Right, absolutely, yes, of course. It's just a typical fund drive that we have to explain ourselves. So like all the fund drives and make a case for why they should contribute and support our fund drive, okay? Of course. But that's, I feel that it's an exception that I feel is a good thing to do, okay? All right. Any other questions or comments? Time is up. Okay, very good. Thank you all for your participation, and we stop here tonight. Thank you.